Good morning. It's Friday, October 24th, 2025. It is 9:45 in the morning. I just got off work today and I came downtown. I'm on Robinson. 13th is right there. There was an ambulance there. 13th where the light is. So I'm at 11th. And I thought I would come downtown just to walk around. I do this a lot on Fridays, and it's almost like I was talking to somebody at work about hiking, and they go hiking a lot, and they enjoy getting out and walking and getting exercise. That's kind of what I feel like, but I don't like the woods. I like walking downtown. If I get thirsty, I can stop and get some coffee. There are bathrooms. I have my sketchbook. I'll probably stop and draw. And so I just thought I would shoot a little bit of video of me walking around downtown today. These kind of videos never get a lot of views, so it's kind of, self-defeating or whatever, but that's okay. I enjoy walking, and I figured since I was walking, I would shoot some video. My wife has worked downtown for probably 10 or 15 years. It's been a while. And one of the benefits I get from her working downtown is I can park in her parking lot. Now, she's not strictly downtown. Cross back over. I think she's technically in Midtown. There's the back of the Tesla dealer, if you're familiar with Oklahoma City. But it's a nice little walk. If I, like today, I'll probably walk downtown and get some food. It depends on the weather. It's supposed to rain. There's a 100% chance of rain. I do have an umbrella on me, and it's kind of dark in the distance. I've heard a little bit of thunder. But honestly, if it doesn't rain, this is like the perfect kind of weather. It's a little cool, but I've got a long sleeve shirt on, so I'm comfortable. I'm a little bit chilled, which is my preferred state, rather than hot. You can see the Devon Tower up ahead. It's the tallest building in Oklahoma. I forget how many stories. It's pretty tall. You can see the Devon Tower all across the city. In fact, if you go to my neighborhood, and I live on the western edge of Oklahoma City, if you go to my neighborhood, you can see the Devon Tower. Go to the end of the street, kind of look down. You have to kind of look around houses and stuff, but there's a spot where you can see, because I live in a high spot, but you can see the Devon Tower sticking out there. A lot of construction going on downtown. During COVID, a lot of people started working remotely, like a lot of places, and so a lot of the offices are vacant. And so they're kind of converting some of them to residences, which is kind of cool, I guess. I don't know how I feel about it. Anyway, I've got no particular place to go today. I'm really just trying to get some exercise and kill a little bit of time this morning. I don't know if I'm going to eat lunch down here. The lunch options since COVID have really gone downhill. For example, this used to be a restaurant. It is, I believe, currently closed. It's Packard. They're doing something with it. They may be reopening it, but it's not currently open. I'm gonna walk down to Broadway. Broadway used to be called Automobile Alley because there were car dealerships along here back in the day. When I was in college, I delivered auto parts, and I would come down here occasionally to deliver auto parts. I worked for an Oldsmobile dealer, and there was an Oldsmobile dealership down here, and so if they had a car in the body shop and they didn't have parts for it, they would call us and we would bring whatever parts they were missing. Anyway, you can see a little bit of activity, but man, it's a beautiful day. Like I said, a little cool, but I'll take cool over hot. A lot of people complain there's no place to park in downtown Oklahoma City. I would say that's not true. There's not a ton of free parking. Now, by my wife's work there is, and I'm not talking about in her office. But you can park here. See, what's the price? Park all day for $9. That's reasonable, I guess. There are other parks as you get closer downtown. Of course, with the Thunder and the Thunder games, they have to have parking. But you can see that's mostly empty, so there's plenty of parking. Yeah, see, this is the Buick building. This used to be a Buick dealership. The Oswald dealership, when I went to it actually had a ramp inside where you could drive a car up. So that was kind of cool. When I delivered parts, I had to drive that ramp. It was like in the corner. It's kind of a circle ramp, which is kind of a drag. But, you know. Let's see. So one of my beefs recently about downtown Oklahoma City is they've redone the parking, which is good. They probably needed to. So there used to be a restaurant here, and it's empty. There's a restaurant down there. I think it's called I forget. Yeah, it's something egg. I don't know. It's like a breakfast place. But there used to be here and across the street. There used to be park benches, like metal. You can see there's one down there, similar to that. But they took them out, which is a drag because there's no place to sit. So I'd come down here and I used to come down here and I'd draw, and if the weather was nice, I'd sit on the bench and draw. I've drawn this corner many, many times because there was a bench right over there. Well, now there's not a bench. So, you know, I'm kind of out of luck there. I'm waiting for a light. So this is Broadway. Not to be confused with the Broadway extension. This is Broadway Street or Avenue, Broadway Avenue. I'm gonna go, there's someplace I'm going down here. There's a coffee shop right there. There's the Arts Alliance. Let me see if I can zoom in. I think Senator Langford has his offices right there. So anyway, so I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the light right now. I know this is riveting. It should change in a second. Maybe. So you can see in the distance, I'm not quite in what I would call downtown proper. There are, the guy's going way too fast. The speed limit's pretty low along Broadway. I think it's 30 or 35. You can see the rail for the streetcar right there, the track.
12, 11.
So there's all kinds of little businesses along here. There you got a better picture of Allied Art is like the local art alliance. They promote and support artists. I've never done anything with them, but I know people that have. I don't know. I'm not a joiner on that kind of stuff. I probably should be, but I've never done the kind of art that art alliances support, and I'm not really good at jumping through the hoops. I should. I mean, I'm kind of dumb for not doing that. You know, if you're an artist, it's to your benefit to kind of play the game that there is. That is, you know, going to openings, supporting other artists, applying for grants, doing that kind of thing. I've always just found it easier to work my day job, which I'm an artist in my day job, but I always found it easier just to work my day job and then do what I want to do on my own time and not worry about what other people expect or whatever. There's a coffee shop, Coffee Slingers. It's decent. I mean, it's kind of your typical coffee shop. There's a couple stores right there that sell. It's clothing. I think the one that says shop good, work hard, do good right there, I think they do screen printing and they sell like custom t-shirts in there. So there is a business up here I'm kind of curious about. supposed to have a ghost. Let me zoom in. Hang on. Get up here and I'll zoom in. So I don't know. I think that's like an ad agency. It says truth and clarity through design. But I don't know anything about them. And every time I come down here, there's nobody in there. They've won Addies. I know that because they had a display at one point on their. They got on the corners like an office or like a reception area. I don't know if you can see. I'll zoom in on that when I come back. But they had like one of those Thanos gloves, the Infinity Gauntlet, and it had 4 or 5 Addies on it. So I'm gonna come down here, and I filmed this before. Michelle and I have been here. I've been here in a while. So this is Factory Obscura. This building is kind of interesting because it used to be, I don't know if it was owned or leased by the lead singer of the Flaming Lips, Wayne Cohen. And this was kind of like a Flaming Lips, it was, I don't know what you call it. It was kind of a space that they owned, and he would come down here a lot. I came down here one time and saw him and talked to him. And I know they had like parties here occasionally. He put out on social media, hey, come to the party at the Womb. It was called the Womb. Excuse me. And at some point, Factory Obscura acquired it. And I told him one time, I was like, oh yeah, is Wayne Cohen? I sent him an email or whatever. And they were like, oh no, he's not involved. And it was kind of a weird thing because he had the tree. Oh, they got a different deal up. They used to have a different display here. So it used to have cars. This is cool. I don't know if you can hear that music. I'll probably get a copyright strike. This is cool. They do kind of crazy stuff here. Let me hit. So if you hit the buttons, you used to do stuff. Let me try this out. No. Oh, there. Oh, that's cool. Kind of a stop motion movie. You probably can't see it. Wow, that's cool. Okay, let me hit the next button. Did it change? Oh, it's showing footage. I wish you could see that. Let me see if I can. This is footage of the interior of the womb. Kind of a cool space. Okay, let me hit another one. Oh, that's kind of the same thing. Let's see what this one does. Different stop motion deal. This is cool. And they make these creatures. I love these creatures they make. That's cool. I don't know if you can see that. Kind of I don't know what that is. They appear, that one at least appears to be made out of yarn or flocked or something. Of course, it's a gift shop, bonus track. I've been in there. It's small. Oh, they sell cassettes. It's a cool place. Like I said, I had emailed them and said, well, let me go back. So Wayne had this space. Again, I don't know about ownership or whatever, but they, at one point, they started to put the Factory Obscura there. And Factory Obscura was kind of involved with Meow Wolf, sort of, which Meow Wolf is kind of a similar thing that came out of Santa Fe on a much larger scale, kind of an interactive art museum. So they were kind of had it, and then they put the King's Mouth in there. Now, King's Mouth is something that the Flaming Lips or Wayne, I'm not sure where the line is, had made, and it was this tree, big tree. It was made of silver mylar. I think there were balloons, but you could crawl inside of it. This is before COVID. You crawl inside of it. You kind of laid on your back. You looked up and it had a light show. and music, and it was really, really cool. I'm gonna try and cross there and not get killed. It's legal in Oklahoma. You have to stop for somebody to crosswalk. So we'll see. Anyway, oh, that guy sped up, I think. Anyway, what he did was like illegal. You can't cross. You can't go through a crosswalk. Somebody's in a crosswalk, no matter where they're at. Oh, here's all their addies at Ghost. That's a lot of addies, man. Holy cow. Anyway, I don't know what they do. Apparently they do video. I don't know if you can see that. Anyway, King's Mouth was this interactive thing. You climb in, you heard music, there were lights. It was really cool, and it was here for like a summer. And then when it left, they opened up Mixtape. And so I'm not sure about the relationship between, Mixtape and the Flaming Lips. I mean, and when I asked somebody something about it, and they were like, no, that's not the case. He doesn't have anything to do with this. Didn't really elaborate, but it was an email. To me, it seemed a little snarky, but as I told my employees today, it's hard to tell tone through email, so who knows? Could have been something they've been asked 10,000 times, and I was 10,001, and they'd had enough. Here's a pizza place, Hideaway Pizza. It's pretty good. It's not New York style, though. Anyway, so urban home and lifestyle, kind of a stuff store. A lot of these places down here are kind of like, they'll have like just like home decor, probably like some t-shirts, and then usually there's like stuff for your dog, anyway, so after King's Mouth left, there was it became Factory Obscura, which I like Factory Obscura. Hey, thanks for about running me over. I like Factory Obscura. I've only been there a couple times. I keep telling my wife we need to go again. It's not every time I want to go, they're closed. And I'm down here all the time, but you saw like right now they're closed. Besides, they don't allow backpacks. I have backpacks. There's all kinds of stuff I'd have to do to go in. But anyway, so there's kind of a like art thing. This is cool, this building over here in Oklahoma City, but you have to kind of be in on it. And I'm definitely not in on it. And I don't have the time or energy. So this building right here used to be a Lotus. If you remember Lotus cars, it used to be a Lotus dealership. I don't know if you can see on the second floor there are cars up there, but they used to have all kinds of cool exotics in there. And occasionally I'd go down there for work again, this was back in the mid 80s when I delivered auto parts. Anyway, so this is more downtown. There's this, I love this mural. Let me zoom in on it. Right there, kind of the I don't know, Japanese, I don't know if it's samurai or what, but there used to be, I forget what the name of this place used to be, but that round sign that says Sushi Highball Kitchen, it used to be like a puffer fish. It was yellow, and it was really cool, and then it changed hands. That building, they were working on that building forever. There's another shop. This is a Plenty Mercantile. Again, this is one of those that is like I said, home decor, stuff for your dog, clothes, or t-shirts, that sort of thing. So anyway, this sushi place over here, they were opening for a long time. And they finally opened. I think they were only open for about 6 months. I forget how it fit into COVID, but it took forever to get that place open. I remember seeing that puffer fish. If I had money, I would buy this building. I think this building would be an awesome residence. I'm gonna go around here over on the side. It's big. It's like an event center. During the Thunder playoffs last year, they used this kind of like a satellite place. And it was for sale, but I think somebody bought it, because now I think it's only for lease. But this would be cool. I would love to own some sort of building downtown. But see, it's got a garage. So if you lived here, you could drive your car in here. I don't know if it has full bathrooms and a kitchen, but you might regret going in there, but it's the cool building. I don't know. Somebody needs to give me, if any of my viewers are like, man, Scott, I love what you're doing, give me about $1 million and I'll buy a building downtown. Doesn't have to be a big building, just something small. I don't know what I'd do with it. Hang out. I'd hang out instead of walking around, but I'd get less exercise. Anyway, I'm walking back over to Robinson. Let's see, what street is that? Is that 5th? I think that's 5th. No, it's not 5th. It's probably 8th. So, Factory Obscura is on 9th, and I think I've gone down 1 block, maybe 2. So maybe 7th. 6th is, yeah, I'm on 7th, because 6th is where the bombing memorial is. That's where I'm headed, is to the bombing memorial. And like I said, I've done videos of downtown. Look at the sky, it's perfect out here. I didn't invite my buddy to meet me. Normally I would, but I didn't know if it was gonna rain. I hate to have him here and then it pour rain. Plus, you know, I like to spend a little bit of time by myself. I think if you're an artist, or maybe everybody, but I don't really speak for artists. But I think if you're a creative person, it's good for you to spend a little bit of time by yourself. And I think that's what didn't appeal to me about all the art stuff. Like my friend was like, oh, you got to go to openings, you got to do this and this. It's like, man, I just want time to make art, time to think about life and kind of, I don't know, maybe meditate. I don't know if that's the right word. I don't want to put too, I don't want to sound too, I don't know, highfalutin or whatever. I'm gonna cross over. Do not have a crosswalk here, but oh well. That's a misdemeanor. Anyway, you can tell Oklahoma City traffic downtown is not that bad. This is Friday at it's 10 o'clock now. Anyway, but I think too many people fill like every moment of their day with like activity. And I think if you want to be a creative person, or if you want to be a spiritual person, if you want to be a person that thinks about things, you can't fill every second of your day with entertainment and distractions. You know, occasionally you've got to turn the phone off, turn the music off, put away podcasts, put away books, whatever, and just take time to listen. I mean, I believe that God is speaking to us all the time, and you just have to listen for God. And I'm not saying you'll hear a voice necessarily, but I think there are things that God does to get our attention, but most of the time we're just too distracted. This is a fairly new building, this black one. What's funny is that's kind of why I almost didn't record, because I knew if I recorded, I'd have to be plugged in and talking and videoing. But this is kind of I feel like this is kind of almost like a meditation, me talking or whatever. Somebody told me on one of my videos, they said, you should write down a script and then read it. And I'm like, yeah, I probably should, but I'm not going to. I don't know, to me, I prefer spontaneity. And I don't edit these videos. I probably should, but I don't. Occasionally I'll stitch a couple together, but to me, like, the important thing is the spontaneity and like capturing the moment, I guess. And I like having the record of what's going on, or where I was going, or what I was thinking. You know, it's good to have that. So this is the Oklahoma City Bombing Memorial. The museum is in that building. I kind of came around the wrong side, but I'm gonna walk across here. And I've recorded this on there are probably a couple videos about this on my YouTube channel. But we go down here. So this is the bombing memorial itself. Is this I don't know what you call it, the pool and the two gates. They call those gates on either end. There's one on this end right in front of me. Sorry, I'm going down steps. But you can see, I'm gonna go this way. You can walk across the grass. The Oklahoma City Memorial is a tree logo. It's this tree right here, which has gotten huge. Probably the most well-kept, well-maintained tree in Oklahoma, certainly in Oklahoma City. When we had an ice storm a few years ago that took out my tree in the front yard, my wife and I came down here a couple days later, and they were telling us that the park people were telling us that when the storm came in, they had people out here like putting supports under the branches so they didn't lose branches. After the bombing, this tree was like one of the few that survived. It became kind of symbolic for the resiliency of, I guess, of Oklahoma City and of human beings in general, I think. So here's the museum, and the museum kind of looks out on this. Apparently there's school kids here. So this is the 901 gate, and down here is the 903 gate. They don't know, as I understand it, they don't know exactly what time the bombing occurred. Some evidence pointed towards 902 or 901, some pointed towards 903. So the person that designed the memorial had the idea to make the gates represent both of them. And so this space, it's almost like a timeline. The bombing started there at 901. The chairs represent people lost, and then the 903 represents kind of the peace after the everything is settled down, I guess. It's an interesting concept, and I like it. I like the idea of trying to represent time in architectural space. To me, that's kind of a cool idea. There are other stuff that I've seen like that where they try and represent that, but since this was honoring an event, it was especially appropriate. I'm gonna come out here. So if you ever come to Oklahoma City and you visit, I highly recommend you visit the Oklahoma City National Memorial Museum. You can visit the memorial without going to the museum, but the museum is interesting because it tells the story of the bombing, and I was glad that I went through it because there were questions that I had about the timeline and that sort of thing, and the motivation too, I guess. And the museum talks about that, so that's good. So I'm gonna come out here. I think it's Hudson across the street from me. I've walked from Robinson to, I think it's Hudson. I just know where stuff is at. I don't know what street it's on. There's a post office across the street. Let's see, I'm gonna look out and see if I can see what street this is. Oh. Can't read it. Well, I'll see at the other corner. There's a parking garage right there north of the memorial. What I want to do is come down here and show the fence. So there's a fence that people can put stuff on in the run. There's a memorial run, marathon, half marathon, 5K, etc. People will put stuff on the fence. The fence actually looks a little bare right now. They had a sign right here that talked about their expansion. They're getting ready to expand. But, I mean, people put notes. And as time ebbs and flows, it gets more crowded and less crowded. So Lanny Scoggins, I don't know, but there's two signs there. I think his picture was right there. I think, maybe he's down here. I think that's him. I could be wrong. But this guy's picture's been up there forever. Somebody put a Jesus on there. And then this lady. There's a couple more, but these two, oh, and this guy, Dave Burkett. These three people, their pictures have been up here as long as I've been coming down here. And you can see people put stickers and different things, and they'll put locks. I hate the idea of putting locks on stuff because I know people, it's not, anyway, that's my personal thing, but I don't know, it's a wreath for somebody. Plate. People just put different things that mean things to them on here. If you go through the museum, I've been here a dozen times. If you go through a museum, it really, and then come out here and see some of the pictures of people and stuff, it's heartbreaking. It really is. And then here are letters to, and I'm not sure, I've read them, but I forget who it's from. Obviously, people talking about their life that's gone on after their loved one's gone away. Gone away. That's not the way to put it. After their loved one was murdered in a senseless act of violence. Let me put it that way. Let me put it the way it really is. Anyway, I think I'm going to stop here. I've done about 30 minutes of video, and I don't know if anyone will watch this. But anyway, I just wanted to record a little bit of video of walking through downtown Oklahoma City, how I'm spending my Friday morning, at least until it rains right now. And, oh, I got a man. Hang on, I'll show you one more thing. So there's a church across the street. So the church over here has put up this statue of Jesus that I think is very appropriate. So it's a statue of Jesus, kind of hiding his face from the bombing. Not that he's not watching, but just a reminder of the tragedy. And I think that the hope is that people don't lose sight of the tragedy and everything that's connected with it, and the real loss, the real human loss. Sometimes we always forget that as time goes on. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna stop here. I'll probably record some more later. Have a good day. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, check out the rest of my videos. Thanks. Bye.